women who say I'm old-fashioned, I don't make the first move, I always say then you're not old-fashioned. Because 100 years ago, a woman would walk past a guy, drop her handkerchief and keep walking. The guy would see it, he'd say, this is an extraordinary opportunity to be a man.
Yes.
He'd pick up the handkerchief,
rescue the girl,
walk it over to her and say, madam, you dropped this. And she'd say, did I? And they'd now have a conversation. Now, he thought it was his idea.
Yes, and she was
But
clumsy.
she chose him.
Wow.
So I say to women, listen, this isn't about reversing roles here and you suddenly doing the guy's job. It's about you doing what women have always done and dropping the handkerchief.
Okay, my dude, seriously, you came so close, like this close, and you missed the mark by a mile still. So let me clue you in. So yeah, you're right, that is old-fashioned. Men always thought they had the upper hand, and it was really women leading them, like, to the opportunity. But, like, seriously, can we talk, like, what you have wrong? So yes, women led the discussion. This is true. However, they did it in that way because back then it wasn't allowed for them to court men. Men had to choose women. Men had to take control of the household. Men had to take control of the bank accounts, etc. So women had to do this subtly in the background. What it's about nowadays is instead of having to go through all those theatrics to do that, a woman can just approach a man and actually do it. Like, hey, are you seeing anyone? Or hey, are you here with anyone? And start the conversation instead of having to make this nuanced opportunity for then an intelligent man to like interact with her, who she was interested in anyway. Because otherwise, if she tried what I just suggested as far as a direct approach, she would have been castrated, she may have been seen as a witch or too direct, or any of the other scenarios, and then it wouldn't have worked out as good for her. This way, because like in the past, women were like discouraged from acting directly, from being their own person, from initiating a conversation, and so the handkerchief was a way that they could put a loophole in there. But now that's no longer the case. So when women actually say, like, legitimately, you know, I'm interested in you, they're skipping the handkerchief and going right for what they really want. Which, by the way, the alter side of what we're discussing with the handkerchief is it can sometimes backfire, and the wrong guy, the one she wasn't interested in, would be the one who was intelligent enough to see the move, and then he would approach her, and then she would be stuck in a conversation, and sometimes even a relationship she didn't want, because the guy she was interested in wasn't intelligent enough to take the opportunity and actually move on it. Because this is the thing too, you know? So it's not just a tit for tat. It's like they dropped the handkerchief because that's the only way they could get the conversation started. And lo and behold, if the guy wasn't intelligent enough to take that opportunity, it got taken up by someone hopefully she may like, but quite often was not the person she chose to begin with, which is a whole nother conversation.